So the second motion that we're going to talk about is, as a middle class parent, this house would support their child's choice to deprioritize formal education in favor of pursuing digital creative skills or career. Now I'm going to define the motion. First, in the motion state about middle class parents, it means that the economic group between the upper and lower classes, including professional and business workers and their families. Next, I'm going to define about formal education. Formal education means that an education that usually takes place in the premises of the school, where a person may learn basic academic or trade skills. And now I'm going to talk why we should prioritize formal education or keep prioritizing formal education. We should prioritize formal education. My arguments, because first, we should know about what we get from a formal education. So, what we get from a formal education is not just a knowledge about something, but we also get about how to build our character. And as I know, this is only what we get, or we get it much more in a formal education. So if we deprioritize and only focus like content creating or maybe audiovisual design, we would see the difference, because we would know how to be friendly to other, or maybe talk like socializing, because it is what we learn in a formal education. And also, my other point is, if in the motion said that deprioritize formal education in favor of pursuing digital creative skills or career, we should see that the potential of a person is not always the same. It means that not every person have the creativity in content creating, even though they want it. It means that if we act as parents, because we know better, we have to keep prioritizing formal education, because it is more accurate for their future rather than content creating and others like that. Also, we could see from the parenting if we see from the middle class, it means that some of the middle class parents still want their child on prioritizing the formal education, because through formal education they will get a sure job. It means that not like when you create some content, maybe it could be like when you upload a content on YouTube, maybe one of your video may be watched by many people, but it could also become unpopular. And what will you do with that? Of course, that is why a formal education is important, because if we are going through the formal education, we would know what we are going to choose in the future. Like if we take schools and keep raising our academic, we could choose a more accurate job. And there's a lot of job that we could choose if we take a formal education, such as being a doctor and many more prophecy that could be get by prioritizing our formal education. Also, not just that, we could see from the more we could see from the more choices that being made by a lot of people. It means that even though the childs want to choose in content creating, they could not, or even though they choose in making content creating, their parents should not deprioritize them in formal education, because formal education is what helps them in getting a creative thinking, and it will help them in this parts of their job. It means that if they want to get into the audiovisual design or content creating, this formal education could help them in getting a better thinking and a better side of view, and they could make a better content, and that may help them in doing what they want and getting what they want. So that is why I, as the opposite team, disagree with the motion that as a middle class parent, this house would support their child's choice to deprioritize formal education in favor of pursuing digital creative skill or career. And I reassure that we should prioritize formal education because it is better for the future of our child, and it is a better choice to be made. Thank you.